So Senna in fact got her slow back, but this time around she doesn't even need to sacrifice her keystone slot for it because it's attached to her Q. Pro players like k1ng's King, for example, who is the AD carry for k1ng, have picked her up in the AD carry position and they are dominating with her. So let's have a look at how they're doing it exactly. Hello fellow Misfortunates and welcome to this pro player analysis. King's Senna. So Senna, she is also a very good support right now, and Riot tries to push her into the support position. They will nerf AD carry Senna next patch immediately. They will, I don't know, I think reduce the drop rate of her souls when she kills minions. So AD carry Senna, only good for this patch, but you can still play it in the support position because these Q buffs are huge. I mean, she was good before with the right build, and these Q buffs are just on top of everything. So what are we doing rune page wise? This is both true for support and for AD carry. Fleet Footwork is a very good rune, but you can also go with First Strike. Both of them are completely fine. I think they both have their merits. But yeah, King deciding to go for Fleet Footwork, Presence of Mind, Legend Alacrity, and Cut Down with Biscuit Delivery and Approach Velocity secondary. So Approach Velocity, back in the day, was used for comboing with Glacial Augment. And there's a key difference between what Senna got on her Q and the old Glacial Augment proc. Mainly the thing that she now has to pretty much open up with her Q to then chase people down, because Glacial Augment also applied a slow on your auto attack, not on your Q, which makes it a little bit safer because Q is dodgeable, technically speaking, and your auto attack is point and click. So the good old auto Q combo is now pretty much your Q auto combo. Ideally you Q them through the minions. You now get Approach Velocity again. Back in the day when Glacial Augment was a thing, you also got it, but when they reworked Glacial Augment and Senna didn't have a slow, Approach Velocity was a complete waste. But now you get it again, so you Q them through minions from range, use Approach Velocity to close the gap, and then you auto them for a free soul stack. So that's the general game plan in lane here. The lane matchup, inherently, it should favor Senna actually, because, well, Soraka is a poke champion, very safe in lane, and they both have relatively high range, especially Senna has enormous range, so they should be able to avoid most of the all-in attempts coming from Gragas. But about the rune choices, so yes, the slow, okay, very good reaction to the flash. The slow is a little bit worse, not in terms of strength. In the early game, the Glacial Augment slow was stronger, however the Q slow scales, but it's still a little bit worse, again, because it only applies on Q and does not apply on... Okay, that's rough. Rough invade. Does not apply on auto attacks. So it's dodgeable and you have to Q them to get it. But the slow gets so massive late game because it scales with your bonus AD, which indirectly means it scales with your souls, since souls are converted into bonus AD. And it scales with your AD items you buy. So it's very, very strong. You get to like 50%, 60% in the very late game. And obviously no one's running away from that. But first of all, we're in the early game. This is a very wild lane phase. Karthus disengages with the wall. I think they should be fine here. And yeah, red team might try to go for dragon. That's too early, right? Yeah, okay, it's level 4. Actually, I don't know. Maybe with the entire team they could have gotten it, but the wave is in kind of an awkward spot. It would push under tower if Senna wasn't fixing it. So, yeah, as far as the rune page is concerned, yes, you don't have the slow on your auto attack, but with Fleet Footwork, you do have a movement speed boost on your auto attack, which is effectively in most situations very much comparable, because you slowing them down accomplishes similar things like you speeding yourself up, right? So, as far as item build goes, King goes for a very glass cannon-y, attack damage heavy style. You saw Longsword first item, then first base, they buy Noon Quiver and Tear of the Goddess. So you have Presence of Mind and you have Biscuits in combination with a support item that's generally speaking enough in terms of mana sustain, but in the AD carry position, or in the farming position, to be more precise, you don't have the support items. So Tier to help out there. Also, Man Immune is a good item on Senna, so once it's completed, once it's fully stacked, you can upgrade it for a huge attack damage boost, which also feeds into Kraken Slayer. So yeah, this Noon Quiver will go into Kraken Slayer. And Kraken Slayer, I mean, Senna has a little bit less value of attack speed, but it's still good. They buffed it a while back. And Kraken Slayer's true damage has a bonus AD ratio, which is of course amazing if you buy lots of AD items, such as Mira Mana. But on Senna, bonus AD ratios are quite nasty because she doesn't get any base AD with levels, but just bonus AD from souls. So she scales way harder with stuff like Kraken Slayer passive, or even Mira Mana passive, or Fleet Footwork's effect. So all these effects, if you can get them on her, they are crazy good. And I mean, Senna is quite squishy when you don't buy Sundera and stuff. But King actually weaponizing that with the choice of Cutdown here. So, great late game setup if you can avoid dying, which is not always easy if everyone tries to jump on you and you're just a squishy Senna. But when you are a proficient player like King, you can definitely make it work, I guess. Anyway, we have a very aggressive lane phase so far. And bot lane is quite a bit ahead. But in an equal fashion, top lane is a little bit in trouble, Ryze being 0-3. So Irelia, she might be a problem later on. Also Karthus, because, yeah, you can kite all you want with your range. Karthus just presses R and he is hitting you, so you need to have some magic resist here, or HP, or I don't know, a spell shield. You can't, quote-unquote, outplay a Karthus ult with Senna, so you need to be able to take some hits to some extent. But yeah, we see the pickaxe here working towards Kraken Slayer. And Seri has her Sheen. Sheen is a crazy good item on Seri. You need to respect it because she applies it with like every other Q without mana cost, so she can just freely get value from this component item. And once she hits Triforce, she is dangerous. Now here with a wave under tower, you obviously want to chill, you don't want to fight when there's a huge wave at stake. You simply want to farm, get the wave to reset, and then you can start doing stuff again. So yeah, using W to last hit the minion, completely fine in this situation if you ask me. And I need to be careful, Gragas might be camping on one of these bushes. Yep. Well, eating an occasional Q is whatever, the problem is when he body slams into you and they go for an all-in. But, I mean, they are at an item disadvantage. Okay, nevertheless, he gets the body slam, Senna takes huge damage. So yeah, if you have item advantage and level advantage, level 6 advantage even, but you still shouldn't play towards the enemy's strengths. And this bot lane is an all-in bot lane. Endure poke when you play Senna with Soraka. So yeah, just play from range, don't risk anything. Get your farm, get your scaling. Senna, infinite scaling, so you never need to be afraid of the late game. Soraka is a little bit caught out here, ulti too late. Okay, but she is able to revenge kill at least some of them. Karthus gets another one though. Yeah, Karthus getting big is a problem. Oh, very aggressive flash. I like it. But she definitely dies here. Yeah. Alright. She gets a triple, but Karthus also gets a triple, so we need some magic resist this game. Karthus actually rushing the Morellonomicon here. It's quite good against Soraka, don't get me wrong, but the fact that Soraka's ultimate cleanses healing reduction is a little bit annoying. However, healing reduction is still very good against them, also good against Senna with her Q, and with her potential crit to lifesteal conversion. Ooh. That's a tough spot though, because Senna is guaranteed to lose farm under tower. I don't know, this gank timing. I mean, if they kill them, it's good, but look at this wave. They're losing... Okay, they're not losing as many, because the cannon minion tanks quite a few shots, but still. Fighting in a huge wave is always an iffy situation at best. Anyway, if you kill them, then that's fine. And Senna has such a huge item advantage now. After that triple kill, she was able to complete her Kraken Slayer right away. And in my opinion, you need quite a bit of movement speed on Senna to kite effectively. Movement speed on Senna inherently better than... Okay, that's rough. Zeri, you don't want to be there 1v3. But yeah, movement speed on Senna, like Jhin, inherently better than on other AD carries, on other champions, because you have so much time in between auto attacks. And also your passive, it's kind of telling you... Oh, that's a tough spot. Let's see. She has the damage though. If she can focus down Azir, Or, I don't know, attack the closest target. Yeah, don't overcomplicate stuff here. Let's see. They should die. There's no way they get away. There's a tower there. Okay, Gragas tanks. Ah, he dashes over. Sure, his cooldowns were ready. Okay, that's a little bit... Ooh, what a snipe. But yeah. Senna's passive, giving you movement speed whenever you auto-attack or Q somebody. It's the champion design-wise is already telling you, hey, you need to reposition, you need to move around between attacks. Your attack speed is lower, which means you have more time to reposition before your auto-attack comes off cooldown, so to speak. And the more movement speed you have, yeah, okay, we see Swifties, so definitely a good boot choice here. However, this is also why I personally like the slightly magical boots from the... What is it called? Inspiration path? Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to stack a lot of movement speed on Senna. But, yeah, definitely Swifty is nice, even though it's not the magical boots with 10 extra movement speed. It's good to have them. Maybe they go for, or maybe King goes for a Zeal item too. We'll see. Typically speaking, this is like the small catch-22 with Senna. You do have your free crit chance from your passive whenever you collect the next 20 souls. Oh, okay, she's dead. No chance. Yeah. Oh, huge gold. But you do have all this free crit chance there. But once you buy Rage Blade, and Rage Blade is a crazy good item on Senna, but once you buy Rage Blade, you can no longer overcap. So every additional crit item you buy, which lets you overcap sooner, ultimately ends up wasting stats, which means wasting gold. So I don't know. This is why I don't like Zeal items as much, because you buy more crit, and when you don't buy Rage Blade, I mean, you kind of have to buy Rage Blade at some point because it's so good on Senna. But if you have too much crit, then you just overcap, and you don't get lifesteal out of it. Senna is protected from overcapping with this passive from, you know, this, where is it? Is it worded here somewhere? Ah, yes. 35% of excess critical strike chance is converted into lifesteal. However, once you buy Rage Blade, your crit chance gets set to 0%. Right now it's 40%. It will get set to 0%, which means technically you don't overcap anymore, and all the excess critical strike chance simply goes to waste. You don't get any lifesteal out of it. So this is something to keep in mind, and this is a clear reason not to buy too much critical strike chance. I mean, Kraken Slayer is a good item, and it lets you reach the 100% crit mark a little bit sooner. You don't need to collect as many souls, but from that point going forward, you just waste gold, effectively. So in my Senna builds, I typically only buy Rage Blade as my only crit item. And then I go like Sundera, Wit's End, you know, all the other stuff. So I don't waste gold, ultimately. Senna's on her way. Is she fast enough, though? She can ult from range if she wants to. It's unnecessary, though. Or is it? Oh, she gets zoned away. Yeah, okay. They still get Karthus. Okay, so Senna was a little bit late, and oh, she walks straight into his passive. No respect. Yeah, she was a little bit late, and Gragas also zoned her away. But, okay, Zeri ulti. Okay, uses the flash to get that kill. Yeah. Solid. Definitely viable. You need to respect their all-in still. But with that big an item advantage, you can definitely go for these fights. And now they just, or King just pushes in. I keep saying they because I'm used to just using the gender-neutral pronoun, because most of these players I don't know personally, but we know the pro player King. We know he's a he, right? So I can actually just say he, or his name, I don't know. Anyway, pushing the wave in to maximize your farm and to maximize the farm the enemy loses, and then rotating. Push past River Rome, essentially. Works even without taking the tower before. And Karthus being so greedy. I mean, he's so far ahead in terms of kills. So him dying is actually very bad for his team. Senna is a little bit caught out, walking through Karthus' passive again, which ultimately cost her life. This is what I mean. When you just buy these glass cannon items, 0 HP, 0 resistances, every single misstep you take is punished heavily. Okay, what's Echo doing here? I don't think he can do this. Yeah, he's dead, right? Oh, okay. Alright, for a second I thought. But yeah, 1v3. Numbers disadvantage, always quite rough in League of Legends. And indeed, Senna responding to Karthus's amount of feed here. Wit's End for some magic resist. Wit's End, a crazy good item on Senna. Criminally under-purchased, in my opinion. Because, well, this item is good for the same reasons that Rageblade is good and more. Because Rageblade is good as it is converting your crit into on-hit, and your Q, which cannot crit, but can apply on-hit effects, gets significantly stronger that way, and Q is a big part of your damage output. Same true for Wit's End. On-hit effects are just good on Senna, period, because you apply them on your Q on multiple targets, and you apply them with your auto attacks, and Wit's End also gives you additional movement speed in between auto attacks to reposition. Super good item on Senna. I get it almost every single game on her. My typical build for support Senna is Sundara, Wit's End, and Rageblade. And this is all the item slots you have, right? Because you need the Sightstone, you need your support item, and you need boots. But yeah, these 3 items, super good. On Senna AD carry, you can buy even more items, of course, because you effectively have 5 item slots instead of 3. And yeah, there we go. Karthus drops. But she can't... Okay, now he learned. He doesn't walk through the passive anymore. Still, he takes that ultimate, he tanks it though with the magic resist. Now he can go back in through this path. Yeah, that's a snare. Doesn't dare to go closer. Probably a smart idea. Because as an AD carry, you need to be very careful when you flank. Since they can just turn, and then you're essentially giving the enemy a flank angle on you. You are reverse flanking yourself. Yeah, this is why you should stick to the back line. If you risk plays like these, especially on a squishy champion like no HP Senna, you shouldn't be too surprised when you get killed. So with 60 souls, she should have, okay, yeah, not quite 60, but she should have 30% crit chance. She gets it right now, as she kills this. Anyway, with 30% plus 20% here, she would be at 50. But this Rage Knife already is the same effect as Rage Blade. You see, it's set to 0 immediately. It was 10% for a short frame when she got that final soul, but it got immediately converted into on-hit damage. So, again, this is why the overcapping with Rage Blade doesn't work. We can check later in the game, maybe I'm mistaken. I mean, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm pretty sure you don't get any lifesteal when you overcap with Rage Blade. In any case, just this little Rage Knife here, this is an extra 80 damage on your Q, which wasn't there before. Your crit chance doesn't amplify your Q in any way, shape, or form when you don't have Rage Knife or Rage Blade. So this is just 80 free damage on, well, free, you still pay 800 gold for Rage Knife, but this is still 80 additional damage on your Q, which is massive, obviously. And let's have a quick look at Senna's Q slow. It's at 36% already. Quick reminder, Glacial Augment slow decayed to 40%, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, red team massively ahead. Senna, very aggressive items, and the perfect purchase against Karthus with Wit's End. He just dies again. Yeah, I mean, Karthus can still deal damage when he's dead, but he's just dying way too much, considering how much gold he has from his team. Enemy team only 4k gold down, but it will be a lot more after they take this Baron. And yeah, you can already see 630 damage from cut down. That's not too shabby, considering the enemy team doesn't have a true tank. Oh, Senna gets ulted again, but yeah, she should be fine. Gets healed by Soraka, healed by her Q, has barrier to buy herself and Soraka more time to get the healing off. But this is the smart thing about Karthus' items here. He has Morello plus Liandry's, and Liandry's burn is magic damage, of course, so even though Soraka can ult to cleanse Grievous Wounds, the next tick of Liandry's will instantly reapply it, so even though ult got rid of it, you then immediately start to cut down the Moonstone healing and Soraka's W healing and lifesteal healing and all that kind of stuff. You immediately reduce it again. So yeah, here we have Rageblade, and Tyr is at max stacks, so I guess we see a mana or Mira Mana next item. Already 1.2k damage from Kraken Slayer. 730 from Wit's End, yeah. We're getting some value here. How much healing from Keystone? 2.3k? Crazy. But again, you are quite squishy, and lifesteal is actually sometimes a trap, or not lifesteal, regeneration in general, is sometimes a trap stat, because when you don't have, imagine the most extreme case, imagine a champion with only 1 health max. They don't get any value from lifesteal regeneration. And the same is true. I mean, for Senna, she obviously has more than 1 health. She has 1,000 or what, or 1,500. But the same concept still holds true. The less total health you have, the less opportunity you get to apply your lifesteal and healing. So, increasing your health pool or your effective health with resistances, it is very important when you want to make use of healing. So when you have a Soraka by your side, or when you have lots of lifesteal in your kit or lots of healing in your kit, the value of HP, armor, and magic resist is inherently higher. Again, this is why I prefer Sunder as Senna, but in the AD carry position, you need to deal a lot of damage quickly, and Kraken Slayer is just perfect for that, of course. Yeah, the build is fine, definitely. It's definitely working. For a support, I'm not sure. You can play Senna support with Kraken Slayer, and after next patch, when Riot again nerfs AD carry Senna, you will have to play her in the support position. But as a support, you need to position it a little bit more defensively. You need to actually enable your AD carry to deal damage. I don't know. I mean, you still can pull it off. You can be a second carry essentially, even from the support position with Kraken Slayer. It comes down to personal preference and to how confident. But yeah, this is what happens. In that situation, of course, the extra health from Divine Sunder would not have saved you as well. But generally speaking, you will take some hits in a team fight, and the less HP you have, the less room for error you have, essentially. Okay, so Senna has completed her Rage Blade now. She's working towards Mura Mana. And yeah, she's looking strong in terms of damage. Pushing the side wave past river. Always the right macro play, keep that in mind. You don't want to lose farm randomly. And yeah, again, it's past river. King instantly roams to another location, because it's the right thing to do. You don't want to stay in one spot, don't want to get ganked randomly, and you want to be there for your team to actually deal damage in potential fights. So, okay, yeah, the jungle monsters. I mean, right now there's no objective to fight over. Dragon is taken, Baron is not on the map either. So taking the jungle camp is completely fine. And, oh, actually we have our Mira Mana purchase here. I would assume, huge power spike. Just look at the AD, it's... Oh, where can I see it? It's too late. I didn't see the before and after. But now it's 318, that's 268 bonus AD. Imagine with a regular AD carry you would have, I don't know. How much bonus AD is this in terms of souls? Can we see? Yeah, 75 bonus AD in terms of souls. A huge damage boost, because Kraken Slayer works off bonus AD only, not base AD. This is 181 true damage. And this is 70 physical damage on spell and 30 on hit. Yeah. This is very tough to beat if you can't get on top of her. If you can hard engage on a squishy Senna, then sure she dies, but it gets harder and harder the later the game goes because of her range, ever so slightly increasing every 20 stacks. Karthus ulti gets shaken off. Yeah, I mean, at this point, blue team is so far behind. I would assume they ended with this push, don't they? Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is no longer defendable. All of them are dead. It's only Karthus. And he gave up. Alright, so, again, Senna AD carry, quite good this patch. Abuse it while you can, but she will be completely broken as a support still, even after Riot nerfed her as an AD carry. Support Senna is crazy strong right now. Make use of that. And if you want to see if you want to see my personal favorite support Senna build, then click the link on your screen right there.